In the middle of the Nevada desert, surrounded by endless sand, sharp mountain ranges, and a silence that feels almost unnatural, lies a place that has captured the imagination of millions. A place so restricted, so heavily protected, and so secretive that for decades the United States government refused to even acknowledge its existence. This place is known today by a name that almost everyone has heard: Area 51. Our story begins far from the desert, in the tense atmosphere of the Cold War. In the early 1950s, the world's two superpowers were locked in a quiet but dangerous battle of intelligence and technology. The United States needed a remote location where it could test advanced aircraft without foreign eyes watching. The Nevada desert, with its isolated valleys and natural barriers, became the perfect choice. A dry lake bed called Groom Lake was selected. On maps, it was simply labeled as a restricted zone. Later, it would be given a name that would become legendary: Area 51. At first, to the few pilots and engineers who worked there, Area 51 didn't feel like a mystery. It was a testing ground, a place to push the boundaries of aviation. But the extreme secrecy that surrounded the site created an atmosphere unlike anything else. Workers were flown in from Las Vegas on unmarked planes. They signed strict agreements promising they would tell no one, not even their families, where they worked. The base had no official name, no public address, and no acknowledgement from the government. It was as if Area 51 didn't exist. The first major project tested here was the U-2 spy plane. At the time, it was the most advanced aircraft in the world, capable of flying higher than any plane before it. Its unique design and silver surface made it extremely reflective at certain altitudes. When the U-2 began experimental flights, people on the ground would sometimes see a moving light far above the clouds, higher than any known aircraft could fly. These sightings began to spread, and soon the public started reporting strange objects in the sky. Newspapers even began using a new term: unidentified flying object. To the government, these sightings were simply the result of top-secret aircraft flying at unusual altitudes. But because the government wasn't allowed to explain what people saw, the mystery around Area 51 grew even more. What was happening in the desert? What were these strange shapes in the sky? Why was the government refusing to talk? As time passed, Area 51 expanded. More hangars were built. More projects arrived. Flights continued through the night. And because of its secrecy, people around the world began linking the base with anything unusual or unexplained. Some believed the strange lights were advanced aircraft. Others believed they were something not built by humans at all. Area 51 became the center of countless theories. But throughout all of this, the government stayed silent. Meanwhile, inside the base, the work of developing advanced technology continued. The 12 Oxcart, the predecessor to the famous SR-71 Blackbird, was one of the most ambitious projects ever tested at Area 51. It could fly faster than a bullet, at speeds that pushed the limits of what a pilot could endure. Its black, radar-absorbing surface was an early step towards stealth technology. The work was dangerous. Pilots trained for hours, technicians monitored every detail, and accidents were handled with extreme secrecy. Only a few selected officials even knew what the aircraft looked like. Through the 1960s and 1970s, Area 51 continued to develop technology that would eventually become the backbone of modern aviation. Many of the systems used in drones, stealth fighters, and reconnaissance aircraft were tested here long before the public ever heard about them. Even today, experts believe that some of the most advanced American technologies were developed in this desert. But it wasn't just the aircraft that made Area 51 special, it was the environment itself. The entire region is a controlled airspace known as the Nevada Test and Training Range. Aircraft that enter without permission are immediately flagged. Signs warn travelers that force may be used against trespass, though the real security comes from advanced sensors and surveillance systems placed across the land. Cameras, motion detectors, and radar equipment ensure that no one can get close without being detected. The workers who operate these systems are experts in maintaining secrecy. They monitor the mountains, the valleys, and the skies. They protect the airspace and control every movement around the perimeter. At night, the desert becomes even more mysterious. The horizon glows faintly with the lights of distant tests. The shadows of aircraft cross the sky silently. Trucks move across dirt roads carrying equipment. It is a world isolated from everyday life. With every passing decade, the public's curiosity only grew. Television shows, documentaries, books, and movies kept Area 51 in the spotlight. But the government remained quiet. It wasn't until 2013, almost 60 years after the base was created, that the United States officially acknowledged that Area 51 existed. Even then, the details released were minimal. The documents described old programs like the U-2 and A-12, but avoided mentioning anything currently active at the site. For people in the United States and the United Kingdom, Area 51 represents the ultimate symbol of secrecy. A place that everyone has heard about but almost no one has seen. A facility where advanced ideas are tested long before they reach the outside world. And while many theories continue to circulate, from unconventional aircraft to experimental technologies, the truth remains protected behind security gates and restricted airspace. What most experts agree on is that Area 51 is still deeply involved in research related to aviation and national security. The desert provides the perfect environment for testing high-speed aircraft and new designs that require privacy. The runway is long enough to handle large planes, and the surrounding mountains prevent outside observation. Satellite images show new construction happening almost every year. While the details remain classified, the constant expansion suggests ongoing projects. There are also strong indications that the base plays a major role in training. Pilots learn how to operate in complex environments. Engineers study new prototypes. Electronic systems are tested. Everything is coordinated with nearby facilities inside the same restricted zone. The entire network functions as an advanced technology and defense ecosystem. The secrecy is not meant to create fear, but to protect the work that happens here. Countries around the world attempt to collect intelligence through satellites, monitoring, and cyber tools. If advanced technology leaks before it is ready, it could weaken national defenses. This is why the people who work at Area 51 operate under strict confidentiality. Their work stays in the shadows so that innovations can be developed safely. For the public, however, the mystery is what keeps Area 51 fascinating. Even though we now know more than before, the restricted access, the security, the desert location, and the long history of secrecy ensure that the stories will continue. Visitors driving near the area still see warning signs. They still see white security vehicles watching from the hilltops. They still feel that sense of crossing into forbidden territory. What actually happens inside Area 51 today may remain unknown for many years, but the base's legacy is already clear. It played a major role in shaping American aviation. It helped develop technologies that protect the United States and its allies. And it inspired curiosity worldwide, becoming one of the most iconic secret locations in modern history. In the end, Area 51 continues to stand as a symbol of mystery, a place where innovation meets secrecy, a place built to protect ideas that shape the future, and a place that reminds us that, even in a world full of information, there are still shadows that hold stories we may never fully uncover. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into one of the world's most secret places, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. See you next time.